action. Take 5073. Alright, so I'm Sam. I wrote the butt plug story. Some of you may recognize this. That's me. It was requested that I tell it out loud, so I'm gonna actually just go ahead and read it off. I tried just doing it verbatim like this, but this is more stressful than that doctor's fist up my asshole, okay? This is way harder. I would go through that twice before doing this like this again for the first time. It is the... I'm just gonna read it. Saddle and partners, here we go. I had just moved out of my parents' house and in with some roommates. I had a different Tinder dude every other day or more, whoring it up with my newfound freedom like Genghis Khan was my personal idol. So here comes my offender. Let's call him Beardy. Beardy had, as you might have guessed, a great beard. It was fine. He was also a Boy Scout. A Boy Scout knows his knots, and his kinky ass was done already. Beardy comes over, we start going at it. A little rope, a little woohoo. A little woohoo. A lot of woohoo. I'm feeling myself, so I'm like, you know what? I just bought this $1 butt plug off of Wish. $1. $1. One fucking dollar. This piece of shit was $1 if you could have fucking guessed it. $1. Why I thought $1 was a sound investment, I don't know, but you know, here we are. I guess it paid off in the end. So we put that in, okay? Smooth sailing as far as it goes. You know, it's the first time a little nervous, but you know, it's fine. It fits nicely. It's very small. I was like, okay, let's just go. He starts pulling on it. He starts tugging on it. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? And he's like, oh, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Like, it's fine. And I'm like, you should probably just leave it alone. You know, it's fine where it's at. This is more than I promised when you came over. Like, it's good. And he's like, oh no, I know what I'm doing. And then he goes, oh no. The look on his face was just terrifying when they're talking about something that's supposed to be in your asshole. Okay? He's like, oh no. I'm like, oh no? Oh no. No. He's like, it's gone. It's gone. I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? Okay? It didn't just disappear into space. We both know where it is. It's not gone. He looks at me. He's looking at my dookie hole. He's looking at me again. He is ghost white. And I am just sitting there thinking, this did not fucking happen to me. It didn't. I don't believe you. But, yeah, it was gone. It was gone. It was up my butt. It was just, whew. It's gone. And I started freaking out. He's trying to tell me to calm down. I'm telling him that I'm not going to calm down because it's a foreign object all the way up my fucking rectum, okay? And he's like, no, it's fine. I've lost much bigger things up my ass. And I'm like, congratulations, dude. I'm not. He's like, what'd you go do? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, it passed naturally eventually. And I'm like, I'm not fucking... First of all, if it was to pass naturally, how the fuck am I supposed to, like... I can't just flush it down the toilet. Like, it's not going to go down there. I'm not fucking searching for it after that, for sure. So, Plus, after doing a bunch of Googling, it's like, oh, these things can, go sideways. And they can cause some internal damage. And I'm like, well, that would be my luck, because I'm already in this situation anyway. So you're taking me to the emergency room. And I'd only lived like a couple blocks away, so after everything was said and done, I could just walk home. And he dropped me off, sent him home, never spoke to him ever again. Ever. So, alright, we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this. I walk into the ER, okay? I go up to the reception desk. He's like, oh, what are you being seen for? What can we do for you? And I'm like, can I write it down? Like, can I write it down? He's like, okay. How about we just get you back into triage instead? And I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's fine. Yeah, let's just do that. And I go back to triage. It's like, what are we seeing you for? And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do about this? Am I just gonna fucking tell him? Am I gonna be like, well, there's something up there, I don't know what happened? Do I lie like everyone else does and be like, I fell on it, I don't know, it's so crazy? No, I'd just be like, alright, sexy time went wrong. TLC, hit me up. So I go, I lost something on my butt. And he's like, what'd you lose? And I'm like, I lost a butt plug up my butt. And I explained to him what happened, and he's just kind of like, I'm just gonna put you back in a room. I'm like, alright, thank you. And I never saw that guy again. So I get into a gown, and then my nurse comes in, and she is so hot. Like, I'm looking at this woman, and first of all, I'm a little jealous, because, I mean, hot damn, I wish I was her. Second, wow. She's so, like, her hair, I say it's about as red as mine, but it was more, like, natural. And hi, Gucci. That's my fancy cat, Gucci. She was just drop dead stunning, and I'm like, oh fuck, because I am rapidly developing a crush on this nurse for no good fucking reason, because that's the last thing I should be doing while I'm in the ER, to get this butt plug out of my ass, okay? But you know what? Gotta shoot my shot. So she comes in, she puts her hands on her hips, she's like, so I heard you lost something. And I'm like, mm-hmm, I did. Yep, I did. Are you gonna get it out? Maybe? No? Oh. Okay. I tell her my story. She gets an x-ray set up for me. She gives me a gown, and we're about to leave, and I was just gonna like hold it behind me, and she's like, no, I got it for you. And she's like holding it on the back of my neck, and my ass is just out. It's not covering me at all. And I am like, no, I could probably just hold it on me. And she's like, nope, I got you, don't worry, girl. And I'm like, I deserve it. I deserve this. So we go get the x-ray done, come back, my bare ass is out every trip. It's just, I'm gonna have to deal with it for what it was at that point. It's not the most embarrassing thing that's happened that day, so what's streaking through the hallway? Who cares? Alright. I hope you guys are still with me on this. My doctor comes in after I get back from the x-ray, and he is like 6'6", and he's super muscular, but not like super toned and skinny, but just like overall proportionally a large man. And I'm like, hello. And he goes, so I heard you lost something. I'm just like, ha ha ha, all you guys are enjoying this so much. I'm glad I can make your fucking work day. And he's pressing around my abdomen, he's making small talk, and he's like, oh, are you in any pain, blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I'm like, oh, how's your day? And because, you know, flirting, obviously. And he's like, oh, you know, just a typical Wednesday, nothing much. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, me too, obviously. So he gets on some gloves, okay, and I kid you not, he takes these gloves and he's just like, just snaps it. And I'm like, okay. And the nurse does the same. And I don't know what to expect at this point, because at that point, the only thing I have up my butt is this. This is not very big, okay? It's like not very, if you can see it, not very big at all, okay? That was the whole point. That's why I got it. It's probably why it was a fucking $1, but whatever. He gets this scope thing, right? So he can just like put it in my booty, and then it opens up and you don't like tear your booty hole while he's rooting around in there trying to find the gold. And he has this tube of lube, a huge tube, it's like the size of my fucking arm, and he's like, with these things you need lots of lube. And I'm like, you're having too much fun with this. What? Okay, I'll just do it. Yeah. Holy shit. So I get onto all fours, okay? Elbows and knees. Okay, my ass is out. I thought my ass was out before when I was walking down the hallway. No, okay? Not like this. I should have been, you know, having an audition for a fucking porno, okay? There should have been a casting couch on the other side of this fucking room for our whatever, like, medical fetish video, okay? That's how exposed I felt. And if I was gonna be that exposed, I feel like I should probably be getting paid. Because, I mean, they got an eyeful, right? They probably maybe like it. I'd hope. I know. So he puts a scope in, okay? He starts doing his thing. And it hurts, but, like, not unbearable, you know, because it's a pretty slow process. And I'm trying to do my best to just stay there and not mess it up or anything. And he's like, oh, I don't know, looking at my butthole, and it's just not, he's not finding what he's looking for. And I'm getting increasingly more concerned because I thought it should be over already, and it wasn't. I mean, he was in there for like 20 minutes. As I said in my story, I should have fucking called him daddy. Like, he was down there for a while. He was down there longer than most of my sexual partners have been, ever. And it's like, why can't I get this attention at home? I'm just kidding. At home now, I get this attention. Don't worry. He, puts his hand on top of my butt. Afterwards, he's just like, oh man, this isn't working. So he pulls it out. And he puts his hand on top of my booty. He goes, you know, I think I'm gonna have to try something else and you're not gonna like it. Like, what do you mean? What? What do you mean I'm not gonna like it? But I didn't get a chance to ask what he meant by me not liking it, okay? Because by the time I had said what, he shoved his fist in my asshole, okay? His whole fist. This 6'6", very proportionately large man fists me, okay? I shriek. The nurse comes over. She's holding my shoulder. She's like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? It's fine. And I'm like, and as I said in my story, I'm like, I would have jumped up and run through the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid man. Like, he had one fist in my ass. The other one was like gripping my hip so I couldn't go anywhere. And the nurse, I mean, she was comforting me, but at the same time probably holding me down because I was gone. I didn't want to be there anymore. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm fine. It's just a typical Wednesday. And I'm like, I'm crying, okay? And I've always used humor to comfort myself. It has really nothing to do with other people. It's just making a situation lighter and keeping myself sane, because I don't usually freak out when bad things happen. I freak out later. But as long as I'm making jokes throughout it, it's fine. But I'm like, oh, it's just a typical Wednesday. I laugh, the nurse laughs, the doctor laughs, my asshole laughed because his fist was still in there. I just want to put into context real quick. So this is my fist, okay? Pretty standard girl fist, okay? This is this. Even, this is way bigger than this, just with my hand, let alone this giant man, okay? Just take a moment. Imagine it. Cradle your butthole. Love it. Kiss it. Hug it. Send it off to college. Pet it. Say, I'm so glad you have not experienced this. I'll love you forever. I won't ever do something like that to you. Finally, after like 30 minutes, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes, he pulls it out. And he pulls out his fist, and it was literally like deflating a balloon. Like, I was just all the air that had been building up inside my body and not being able to get out because my passages were blocked finally was released, and I could relax, and I could breathe again because he wasn't squeezing my lungs through my butthole. And it was probably one of the most relaxing feelings, I'd say. Like, finally just all this relief just going out. And I have never been so grateful, you know, more so than I was in that moment, to not have something that shouldn't be there in my dookie hole, in my Hershey highway, a poop chute. Don't put shit up there that doesn't belong there if you're not going to be able to get it out. So I'm leaving, and the doctor had asked if I wanted a keepsake copy of my x-ray, and I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I actually had it pinned to my headboard for the longest time next to a pair of underwear that said, if you're reading this, don't be gentle. And I thought it was funny. I like sleeping by it. And I leave, and this nurse is like, oh my god, I would have freaked out. And all these nurses are huddled over this computer at the nurses station. And as I'm turning the corner, I can see that my x-ray is on it. So I kind of like lean over, and I'm like, I did freak out. And mind you, I look like a raccoon, okay? My makeup is smeared across my face from my crying from being violated in the fucking room. And they're like, oh my god, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, yeah, I'm fine. I told them the story. They are just absolutely shocked, because who can fucking even, you can't really imagine it. Unless you've done something similar or almost similar, it's kind of like childbirth. You can't just assume what it's like before you actually go through it. And I like to tell this story to people. I do it better when I'm drunk. Next time I should probably get hammered before I video this, because the stress is like through the roof, because I don't want to fuck it up, guys. I'm sorry. Please bear with me. It is my first video. It's my first time recording myself ever. You know, except for other things. But I'm just kidding. I wish I was kidding. Anyway, Yeah, that is my story. I can do other ones if you'd like, the other ones that I wrote, or I can just start doing it this way if you'd prefer. Whichever. Let me know what you would like to see me do, because a lot of people have been asking different things, and I might just do a poll on it and go from there. So, thank you guys. I'm glad that you have enjoyed this story so much, and I'm really glad that I could bring some laughs when everything is so hard right now. I know a lot of you guys are stuck at home. I fortunately have been working still, so I haven't really been feeling the quarantine as much as other people have. My inbox is always open. You can always talk to me if you need someone to talk to, and just hang in there, guys. So if I can brighten your day anyway, I will be happy to do so. So thanks. I will see you next time.